you hear that? That's not me, I promise. I'm not doing Will's song. Although I did think about that. How fucking baller would that be to show up to Wild Bob's with like a whale song? You just stand up here for 3 minutes and like, I wrote this song about this Jonathan Franzen book. Oh, hey, welcome to the 10th anniversary of Wild Bob's Musical Book Club, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's awesome. Thank you all for being here. What a momentous occasion. I'm super excited to be here myself. If you don't know me, my name is Steve Ames. I'm a famously unpleasant curmudgeon. I write songs and stake out people. It's kind of what I do. We're here tonight to celebrate the works of Mr. Kurt Vonnegut, right? So the very first Wild Bob's Musical Book Club was Slaughterhouse 5, 10 years ago. 10 years ago today, is today the actual 10 years? Sure, 10 years ago today. So we did Slaughterhouse 5. Slaughterhouse 5, one of the characters, the colonel or whatever, the guy in charge of Billy's troop there is, he's Wild Bob, and he's all like, hey, when you get back to the States, come out to my ranch and tell them Wild Bob sent you. And so that was the genesis of the name. And so that name is stuck, and this has been a fantastic event. I don't know how long y'all have been coming, but it's been going on a long time, and it's been a lot of books and a lot of great songs we've happened. Oh, I didn't mean to say fuck it for the cat, yes, I'm sorry. It is an adult crowd. For those of you who don't know that are here tonight, this is a songwriter, singer event, so please keep your, volume down to 0, and don't talk when performers are singing. If you have to talk, whisper, and if you can't whisper, you can go to the patio and yell at one another if you prefer. All right, so, man. I'll announce names later. We've got people to recognize and panelists and a secret consortium of book selectors and librarians involved. But we should kind of jump into things. I did not plan on singing tonight. I didn't. Well, here's the thing. I'm emceeing. It's a big responsibility. You got a lot to do. You got things to remember, like this list of names I can read from. And I've been busy. I started a new job. I got married. This is my lovely wife, Addie, right there. So this last month has been busy, and I didn't get a chance. Thank you, guys. It was shameful on my part, but I had to do it. I did, though, driving here. I started a new job in Hollister, Missouri, which, little story about me. I grew up in Illinois. And I moved to Springfield, Missouri in the fall of 1994, last century for you youngsters. And I vaguely had a rough grasp of the geography of the area and had heard of the town of Hollister. And I started seeing people all around wearing these sweatshirts that all said like Hollister and had years on them. And I thought Hollister, I was like, man, there's a lot of fucking people from Hollister, and I came to find out there's actually a clothing store at the mall. You see where this is going. Because I didn't know. I didn't go to the mall. And then I was like, oh boy, because I voiced that to somebody. I was like, how big is local? I was like, how big is this Hollister? Have you been to the fucking mall? And I was like, no, I haven't. And anyway, Hollister's still not that big. But I was driving here from there, and I was like, I didn't write a song. But then I wrote one on the way here, and I'm gonna play it for you. It's small. It's a little song, and I'm gonna play it to get things kicked off. I love Kurt Vonnegut. I'll tell you what, I really do. I wore my 4th of July shirt. I don't know if you can tell in the lights. It's red, white, and blue. It's not quite the 4th of July, but I wore this tonight because 4th of July is like the Independence Declaration and the birth of our nation. And without our nation, we would not have Kurt Vonnegut, who is the greatest American author who has ever lived, in my opinion. I'm a big Mark Twain fan too. So anyway, yay, Kurt Vonnegut in America, somehow. It's a tenuous connection, but it's there. So I just tossed off a little ditty as a little intro to this evening's festivities, if you'll indulge me shortly. Am I good to plug in? Yes, sir. Hey, let's have a big hand for Gerg at the soundboard. He's amazing, and everybody's going to sound awesome tonight because of him. And I walked in and I saw him, and I was instantly filled with joy and a sense of ease, because that's just what he does. Come on, man, I just talked you up. Oh, maybe the volume's turned down. Is it in here? No? That was my fault. I would like to point out the plug was not in the guitar all the way. I'm going to fully own that. I'm sorry for impugning you, Gerg. It's hot. Hey guys, what's happening, y'all? Looky there. Here's a song about Kurt Vonnegut, which is why we're here tonight, right? And also for books and stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, old Kurt Vonnegut, well, that cat could really write some rules. Little doodles too, doodly doodly doo. Goodbye, Blue Monday, so it goes. Thank you. I'd like to thank Brett Miller for allowing me to borrow his guitar. Can I unplug now, Gert? All right, without further ado, even though I've never understood that phrase, I love ado. Ado's like one of the best parts of the night. But without any of it further from here, we're going to get started. We would like to welcome to the stage now, everybody, the one and only Sebastian Bach. So we're going to have, briefly, Sebastian Bach is going to come back on stage and tell us about the book that his song was about, his process, and etc., and give us a little background on that fantastic tune that we just heard. So let's have the big round of applause again for Sebastian.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, sorry, it's been a while. It's now, I can't say it's my first time, but it's been a long time. Not that I've been on stage, but I'm usually just trying to rattle off the songs. So, yeah, it was, the song I wrote was called, now I can't remember what it was called. The song was called How It's Undone, in memory of the sacred miracle, which is the only thing that actually word for word relates to the book that I wrote in response to, which was Breakfast of Champions, which was kind of a later one. And the thing about Breakfast of Champions is, to me, and I could be totally wrong, but to me the whole point of it, well, one of the main points of it is, it's like a fictionalized version of him writing a novel to let all his recurring characters know that they are in fact characters, and to like kill them off, and in the process to like sort of be a really extreme caricature of himself, and also have multiple caricatures of himself within the book that his caricature is writing that are more absurd, and then have them interact with you. It's pretty strange. I couldn't really connect with the plot, I didn't think, in like a single song, or at least that would be interesting in a way that would be a good song that like got the point across. So I just sort of coincidentally I just had my 40th birthday, and so I just sort of connected it to like, okay, I'm gonna kind of, I mean, it's not a totally conscious thing because I just had to get the song done and it was time. So this is what came out, but it's trying to get as close to that vibe as I could of like, you know, I'm having this birthday, and for my birthday I'm gonna like, you know, kill off my characters, but I don't really have characters. I just have like a different version of myself in all my songs. So if I really wanted to do it, I would have had to like write basically like a rock opera of like a bunch of songs that were like all caricatures of me, and then sort of like somehow work them into the broader song, but I don't think we have time for that. But I will just like read it to you, if that's okay, the lyrics. In honor of my 40th, I'm going over the cliff. I assume that's what it's there for. To commemorate my 40th, I'm going to rehash once again all the worst things I've ever endured. I want to show you how it's never done. This is how it's undone. To celebrate my B-Day, somebody poured me down the drain just as soon as I backed me up to disc. In observance of my B-Day, let's set it all aflame. I'll upload the ashes to the cloud. My bones are Iron Mountain bound. Let me show you how it's never done. This is how it's all undone. No vacancy, high latency. Thank you. So, that is my name. That is my given name. But it's taken a couple times that I know of. So, I go by my initials, which are S.A. Bach, and that's not trademarked as far as I know, unlike my actual name. Is this thing on?
Leesa, are we all separate checks?
No.
It's there?
All of us? I need a card to start too.
That's fine.
Too many groups?
I'm starting that in.
No, my 40th, going over the cliff. Ice and night's what it's there for. To commemorate my 40th, gonna rehash once again all the worst things I've ever endured. I wanna show you how it's never done. This is how it's undone. To celebrate my B-Day, somebody poured me down the drain just as soon as I backed me up to this. In observance of my B-Day, let's set it all aflame. I'll upload the ashes to the cloud. My bones are Iron Mountain bound. Let me show you how it's never done.
Okay, I'll come back.
This is how it's all
through this, but we also have some friends, his family in common. a good guy, and he's got this really big, deep, nice voice, and you're gonna love it. I'm really excited. I don't know what anybody's doing. I have a list of names, but I don't know anybody's books, so it's big fun for me. It's as much of a surprise for me as it is for y'all. So again, without too much ado, perhaps a smidgen of ado. 3 ados. Let's have 3 ados for Paul, all right, everybody? Paul Phariss. I'm going to count to 3. We're going to have 3 ados. 1, 2, 3. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Paul Phariss, everyone.
I have been handed a couple of things to read. So before I do the book, I wrote the song I wrote for the book. Okay, I'll tell you in advance, the book I read was called Galapagos. Did anybody else here read Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut Jr.? Nobody. See, if you try to tell what a Kurt Vonnegut book is about, you're going to kill 10 or 15 minutes easy, because there's always 10 or 12 different plot lines going on in each of his books. And they all sort of meld together at the end, or not. So, rather than bother you with that, I'm going to read these things I was handed to read, and I'm going to sing my song. This first one was written by David Harrison. Now, if you don't know, David Harrison used to own Glenstone Block. He's also the poet laureate of Missouri right now. There's a school in town named after him. I'm assuming it's Harrison School, not David School, but I don't know. And he's had several children's books written, and he wanted to be here tonight, but he couldn't be out of town, so he handed this to Bob Stevens, who's also not here, who handed it to Murray, who is here, and he handed it to me, so I'm going to read it.
We're going to have some documentation on that chamber.
This is really great because I already ate, so I get to talk for a while before I sing. Here we go. 2 writers have held me a willing prisoner with their art of telling a story. Robert Frost, when he was my age, when he was my age now, and I was 22. Oh, the lighting up here is less than good. And Kurt Vonnegut a decade later. Vonnegut's story was simple, but revealed much about the man, the writer. His penmanship, he told the Kansas City audience, was decipherable by no other soul on the planet except the woman he paid to type his manuscripts. She had always typed his manuscript, but she lived in another city, so when he finished a new chapter, it was necessary to mail the pages to her and wait until she got them typed and sent them back for his editing. Edited pages went back to her to type a fresh set and so on, until the manuscript was eventually completed and ready to be mailed to his editor. When I'm ready to mail a packet to my typist, he told us, I tell my wife that I'll be back in a while. She asks where I'm going. I tell her I'm going to stop at the store to buy a mailing envelope and take it to the post office for postage before dropping it off in a mailbox. She asks why I don't keep a supply of mailing envelopes and stamps at home and then put the packet in our own mailbox in the front door. We go through this every time. Vonnegut explained to the audience, as he must have so many times to his wife, that the stroll down the sidewalk to the store was pleasant and filled with pleasant sights and sounds. Sometimes in the store he met people he knew. He might strike up a conversation with the person who took the money in exchange for the mailing envelope at the post office. He always tried to get the same clerk when she was available. He only knew her from the shoulders up across the customer counter, but she was always friendly and helpful, and he had a small crush on her. She always asked if he wanted her to mail the packet for him, and he always declined. Instead, on his walk back home, he stopped at a neighborhood mailbox and dropped the envelope with his pages sealed inside it into the box, opening and closing the door a time or two to make sure the packet had made it all the way down inside. Mailing it himself, he assured us, was far more satisfying than asking someone else to do it. It brought proper closure to the adventure. I heard Kurt Vonnegut tell that story 50 years ago, so I make no guarantee that my memory is as accurate as I let it on to be. It's my memory, so I make no apology for recalling it the way I do. One thing I'm sure of, Vonnegut also told us about an uncle of his who was at family gatherings and was prone to interrupt proceedings to proclaim, "Is this nice or what?" A version of that appears in Vonnegut's work. That's close enough for me. David L. Harrison wrote that. Kurt Vonnegut wrote this. I'll read the little prologue up on top here, and I haven't pre-read this. In 2006, a high school English teacher asked students to write a famous author and ask for advice. Kurt Vonnegut was the only one to respond, and his response is magnificent. Dear Xavier High School and Ms. Lockwood and Messrs. Perrin, McFeely, Batten, Murr, and another name I can't pronounce. I thank you for your friendly letters. You sure know how to cheer a really old geezer 84 in his sunset years. I don't make public appearances anymore because I now resemble nothing more such as an iguana. What I had to say to you, moreover, would not take long, to wit. Practice any art. Music, singing, dancing, acting, drawing, painting, sculpting, poetry, fiction, essays, reportage, no matter how well or badly. Not to get money and fame, but to experience becoming, to find out what's inside you, to make your soul grow. Seriously. I mean, starting right now, do art and do it for the rest of your lives. Draw a funny or nice picture of Ms. Lockwood and give it to her. Dance home after school and sing in the shower and on and on. Make a face in your mashed potatoes. Pretend you're Count Dracula. Here's an assignment for tonight, and I hope Ms. Lockwood will flunk you if you don't do it. Write a 6-line poem about anything but rhymed. No fair tennis without a net. Make it as good as you possibly can, but don't tell anybody what you're doing. Don't show it or recite it to anybody, not even your girlfriend or parents or whatever, or Ms. Lockwood, okay? Tear it up into teeny-weeny pieces and discard them into widely separated trash receptacles. You will find that you have already been gloriously rewarded for your poem. You have experienced becoming, learned a lot more about what's inside you, and you have made your soul grow. God bless you all, Kurt Vonnegut.
So anyway, a song or something. Here we go.
It's in there. Bottom on this if you could. I don't hear it up here at all. There it is. That's good. All right. So this is a song I wrote about 2 weeks after I finished reading the book Galapagos. I finished it and I thought, what in the hell am I going to write about? And I just sat down one night and just started writing and I came up with this. So I hope it's good. I hope you like it. Otherwise the next 3 or 4 minutes are going to be kind of rough on you. How long were you gone? I don't know. We left on a journey. It just went way too slow. I may be back to see you. You can always count on me. You're just sitting on your island and I'm heading out to sea. I mistook you for adventure when you thought I was the one. You looked to me for guidance. I thought that you were seeking fun. Nevermore, through a field of broken hearts, and the chimney smoke of shattered dreams is climbing off the charts. The sustenance I'm finding here will hold us for a while. Drive for love and forgotten how to smile. few days we thought would last are turning into years, and the joy we felt so long ago has been washed away by tears. It looks like nothing's gonna be the same now that jubilation's gone. There's no history of wishing wells to place our hopes upon. And I wouldn't feel so bad, I guess, if only you had stayed. But I'll never know for certain. It's a fee that I paid.
All right, let's have another big round of applause for Phariss, everybody. Fantastic. It was online, I'll tell you what about that voice. It was great. I love that song. All right, how's everybody doing out there? Have you tried the delicious food here? I would recommend the Lynn Burger and or literally anything on the menu. It's always, I was saying earlier, like I always come here thinking, oh, I'm gonna get, you know, the prime dip or like something different tonight. Always get the Lynn Burger. Every once in a while a pretender. But I digress. So I was doing we had the whole ado, I was talking about all the ado we had and the lack of ado and all the ados, and it was leading up to the introduction of Dalton McAdoo, who has not been able to join us tonight. So, yeah, I hate that I had to lose my punchline, but I thought y'all should know that there was a point. Sort of. Anyway, coming up next, we have the finest rhetorician. Is that how it's pronounced? Rhetorician. He's like a scientist of words, a fantastic human being, and just a great songwriter. Let's have a big hand for Mr. Brett Miller, everybody.
We're going to start the old person. Emily told me she had a back procedure and needed a chair, and I said, okay, I'll get started for you then.
I did. I forgot to put mine.
All right.
Oh wait, so you didn't even put yourself on the list. I did.
So my former student and good friend, Mallory Roth, was the original brainchild of this event 10 years ago. And by the way, Mallory sent me a message yesterday to tell you all hello and to grant good wishes to all of you. So. She invited me to do this at the very beginning, and it has been a godsend for me because I don't do self-motivation well. I do deadlines great. I will meet a deadline. So when I signed up to do a monthly performance at Wild Bob's, I would get a song written. So it was like my task for the month. Get a book read and get a song written. Granted, there were many times that the warmth from the printer was still oozing through the paper as I brought it to the stage that day, and there were a couple of times I hadn't actually played the song all the way through before I got here, but we managed to make it work. I haven't been back in several years, but I can't underestimate, I can't undersell how important this institution has been I released a solo album a while back, and 14 tracks on the album, and 8 or 9 of them were originally Wild Bob songs. So it's had a huge influence on me as a songwriter and forcing me to get the work done. Thanks for Steve for hosting this tonight. Steve is my spirit animal. I couldn't make it through life without knowing Steve was in the world. What I decided to write about, I read this short story recently called Epicac that I had never heard of before, written in 1950. And it was his take on, Epicac is a computer, like a supercomputer for 1948 or whatever. He never defines the acronym, but I think it was based off the ENIAC, which was the electronic numerical integrator and computer that was invented in 1945. But it's this beautiful story. This man and woman who are mathematicians who work in this office are running this computer, and the man is just deeply in love with this woman, but he has no creativity, he has no sense of how to woo her, and she just keeps turning him down. And so he lets his wishes be known to the computer, and the computer writes him a poem that just blows her away, and she falls in love with him. And the computer, when the man is telling the computer the story, the computer gets the idea that she's in love with the computer. And then when the computer realizes that she can't be in a relationship with a machine, it kills itself. And so they come into the office the next day, the computer is burnt up and trashed, and because he had asked the woman to marry him, and she said, "I will marry you on one condition, that you write a poem as beautiful as that every year on our anniversary." And so when this guy finds out the computer is dead, he's in a panic because she's agreed to marry him, and he can't write poetry. And so going through the ruins of the computer, he finds that the computer left him 500 love poems. Because the computer loved this woman so much that he wanted her to be taken care of in perpetuity. And so I just started thinking, this song isn't really about that story so much as it got me, it's about Mark Twain, and it got me thinking about living in the age of AI and software programming, where so much of our lives is just programmed, and our behaviors are programmed, our appearances are programmed, and all that, and our relationships follow formulas, and just how difficult it is to be authentic and to find love in the midst of all that. So before I wrote this song, I actually had ChatGPT write this song for me. It wasn't terrible. There were some phrases in it that were pretty good. I did not use any of that. This is all me. I thought it would violate the spirit of the song if I did that. Anyway, this is called The Signal and the Noise.
Signal criticism, feel like a swing and miss. Man, I wish I was an optimist. Unclench this fist, this fist. Do I dare disturb the universe? Will the consequences play like I rehearse? These are the calculations, for better or for worse, or for worse, or for worse. Between the signal and the noise, yeah. Between the signal and the noise, yeah. Between the signal and the noise, between the wisdom and the voice, between the signal and the noise, you will find me. In your algorithm, is there room for me? In your algorithm, is there room?
I changed it up on you, that was my fault.
I thought you left.
Oh, hey. I feel like I should have like a cigarette and jazz like trio playing behind me. Hey cats, dig this groove. This next performer's gonna make you move. She's got songs and rhymes real smooth. She hosts a radio show on KSMU. Woo!
That's heavy.
Heavy cat. Tell you what, yeah man, dig it. On the real trip. Let's rap, for real. Come to the stage now. We'd like to welcome Emily Higgins. Emily hosted the Calvin and Hobbes night we had last quarter. It was fantastic. In addition to that, are you still on? Did you quit the show? Are you doing your radio show still? Did you stop?
15 years.
You're still doing it, yes. So Emily hosts the Mulberry Tree folk music extravaganza on KSB. Let's have a big hand for Emily Higgins, fine songwriter, coming to the stage.
Hi, this will take a minute or two maybe for me to get set up. Yeah, I did have a minor back procedure yesterday, so bear with me. Thank y'all. Fair warning, my guitar is boomy. It's an old Martin. It's got a lot of bass on it. So feel free to turn it down as much as you want. I'm so excited about this because, well, for a whole bunch of reasons. But am I good to plug in? Yeah? Ooh. I'm excited about this. It's 10 years. I wasn't here for Slaughterhouse 5. My friend Barrick Hill contacted me shortly after that and said, hey, there's this thing happening. I think you'd really like it. And I kind of freaked out because I was like, Brett, I was like, I don't do this like deadline songwriting thing very well. It freaks me out. And then I thought, well, don't say no, just try it. And I found that it really did work for me to have that discipline. And it also, I learned so much as a songwriter from Wild Bob's Musical Book Club, not just because I met so many wonderful people through it, but because I learned not to be so linear. I learned to think outside the box and be open. And when just to show you how much I've grown, the first few songs, it was like, oh, I gotta hurry up, write this song and make it just right and have enough time to practice it so it's just right that night that I do it. And now I read your post, Brett, about how sometimes, and I was just listening to you just now talk about how sometimes the ink was still wet. And so yesterday, I'm triple freaking out because I had not written a song yet. I knew what I wanted to write about, but I hadn't written a song yet. And I thought, well, don't write Murray and tell him you can't do it. Just keep at it, you know? So I had a late day caffeine, and I just wrote the song. But I haven't practiced it very much, but I don't care. So, thank you, Brett. Thank you. And I've also grown because I was so freaking petrified those first few shows. And now when I step on stage here, anytime I step on stage at Lindbergh's, it's like in the movie Big, was that the movie where they stepped on the big piano keys? That's how I feel when I step on this stage. I feel like the music comes from the floor up. It's a very cool sensation. I was a little nervous standing over there. As soon as I got on stage, I thought, man, your people are there. Anyway, a serendipitous thing happened earlier when Paul came up and he read 2 readings. The second one was a letter that Kurt Vonnegut wrote to Xavier High School. And I have never gotten into Kurt Vonnegut books, but as a person, I find him fascinating. All but 71 days of his life, he walked the earth at the exact same time as my mother. And the way he lived his life and his war trauma was so much like my father. So the more I read about him as a person, the more I knew I would write about him as a person. And that letter that Paul read summed up his kindness. There's a line in Uncle John's band, the Grateful Dead. All I want to know is, are you kind? That was a quote from Kurt Vonnegut. They took that. They loved him, by the way. So I'm going to quit talking. This song I wrote based upon that letter. So it's so very freaking cool that you would read that. And I get to come up and make it into a song. This is so cool. Anyway, thank you for being patient with me talking so much and not checking my guitar. Dear Xavier High School, Mrs. Lockwood, thank you for your friendly letters. I don't make public appearances anymore. I look like an iguana, 'cause I'm 84. What I would say, it won't take long. Practice any kind of art the best you can, and not to get money or fame, or so that they can recognize your name, but to experience becoming, to find out what's inside you. to make your soul grow. Seriously, starting right now, do art for the rest of your life. Draw Mrs. Lockwood as a picture and give it to her. Dance home after school, sing in the shower, on and on and on. In your mashed potatoes, make a face and act like Count Dracula in any case. And here's an assignment for tonight. I hope Mrs. Lockwood, she flunks you if you refuse. Write a 6-line poem, bad or good. Show it to no one, not even Mrs. Lockwood. Then tear it up into teeny weeny pieces and toss them into several different trash cans. And you'll feel gloriously rewarded for your poem. A satisfaction, a sense of home, because you've experienced becoming, and you learned what's inside of you, and you made your soul grow. You made your soul grow. God bless you all. Signed, Kurt Vonnegut.
Hey, cats and kittens. How we doing? And let's have another big hand for Emily Higgins. Holy shit, what a great song. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, you know, the thing that her and Brett both touched on about Wild Bob's being a gift, it really is. Man, because of Wild Bob's, I've read a bunch of great books that I would have never read. And of course, books are a gift to all of us, you know, like having stories and tales and knowledge that we get to pass around. Like, what a great thing to have. And I wrote a bunch of great songs. I mean, I think they're great. Some of them I still play. Some I don't, because they were like not good functionally, but they were good emotionally at the time, you know what I'm saying? And that's the great thing about Wild Bob's. I've shown up, like they were saying, like I finished the book at like midnight and wrote the song till 4 a.m. and slept 2 hours and went to work, and was like, all right, here we go, you know. It's a unique experience. I've been hanging out in Springfield and writing songs for a long time, and I've never done anything else quite like this, and it really is a gift, and thank Mallory for bringing it to us. Speaking of that, I'm going to recognize some folks. Heck, pardon me in my eyes. So, there's a secret conglomerate of people, a committee of shadowy figures that select the books every month. And I'm going to name them right now. Our new title selection committee is Crystal Smith, who is a reference librarian for Springfield. She's fantastic. And then Josh Arnett, the proprietor of Bookmarks, and father of Googie, the superhero of Springfield. Captain Springfield, yeah. My favorite cat that isn't mine. And then also on our committee, we would like to recognize we got Paul Phariss, who sang for us earlier. Phil Bridges, who's going to sing for us later. Murray Hutcherson, who also will sing for us. Yeah, you can clap. Come on, give it up. Woohoo! Kim Flores and former Mayor Bob Stevens. All right. So coming up next to the stage, we have Timmy Miano, who I've known, I don't know, since the 90s. Oh yeah, a long time. Tommy's one of the best people you ever meet. Just a big, open heart full of love, and he's a great guy and a great songwriter. And he's got this band called The Constant Distractions, and they're going to be playing here tomorrow night. So come out and get a whole fucking night of Timmy Miano and The Constant Distractions. But right now, you get one song. Let's have a hand for Timmy Miano.
For the evening, I'll be Tommy, but Steve, it's Timmy.
Oh my God!
It's okay, you've only seen it in print. We love each other and know each other musically, but we don't like hang and stuff. I've never been around a bonfire with him, spitting stories about our youth. That's okay. I look like a Tommy. Yeah. No, it's... Well, hi, I'm Timmy/Tommy Miano. So embarrassing. Yeah? Poppin'? Yes, go ahead. Okay.
Go slow.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
That's my accountability buddy telling me not to be punk rock tonight. So yeah, Kurt Vonnegut, for me, I first got my first Kurt Vonnegut books in 8th grade, 9th grade, and that was forever and a half ago. So it was hard to pick a good one. The one lasting effect that Kurt Vonnegut Jr. had on my life is he's ruined my concept of space-time. I don't know where I am or when I am ever. I have no faith in the continuity of time. And so that, like, when I'm laying in bed at night, I'll sit and I'll send messages to myself in the past and the future. And I'll say things like, hey, we had a nice sandwich today. If that isn't nice, I don't know what is. And I want to make sure that old me knows to like those kinds of sandwiches, and future me remembers what a Reuben is. If you've read a lot of Kurt Vonnegut, you'll understand that. If not, you'll understand I know what kind of crazy I'm going to be because Kurt Vonnegut existed. So this is a song about, it's a Sirens of Titan / Slaughterhouse 5 / My Life mashup. I guess I'm going to call it Unstuck, but there's more to it than that.
Can I get another paper roll?
I'll slow the song down. I'm trying not to cry. That's what I'm doing right now. Like, there's so many memories attached to Kurt Vonnegut for me that it's hard for me to, as a guy who doesn't exist in one point in time ever, which is what the song's about, separate what's going on now from, you know, when I, when my son was born, and I recited the lines from God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater to him about being kind. So, too much to go into. Here's a song about space. Space-time, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Honestly, at this point, I don't think I understand it at all. Like, how can I say I'm where I think I am when I feel like I felt when I was way back then? Every time I hear a song, I close my eyes and I jump through time because Music is the infundibulum that collapses all my memories into one until they're cronus and classically intertwined. The right song comes on and I'm unstuck in time. The right song comes on and I'm unstuck in time. I don't think my parents knew what they were doing when they encouraged me to learn the bass. They might have well as handed me a 4-string time machine, 'cause each song I play takes me back to a moment in my life or a person that I used to know. I can zip around just by playing a song, and whenever I want I can go, because music is the infundibulum that collapses all my memories into one until they're cronus and classically intertwined. The right song comes on and I'm unstuck in time. Right song comes on and I'm unstuck. Oh no, it's happening right now! It's 1994 or maybe 95. We are in Ben's garage playing Nirvana all night. It's the only memory that keeps us all alive, and I can come back here whenever I like. Because music is an infundibulum that collapses all our memories into one. Cronus and caustically intertwined. The right song comes on and we're unstuck in time. The right song comes on and we're unstuck in time. The right song comes on, we're unstuck in time. Thank you. The constant distractions don't do any Vonnegut, but we have references to Heinlein and Adams and a bunch of other sci-fi authors, so come see us tomorrow.
Thank you. Crandall Bergdorf, everyone. Crandall Bergdorf on the main stage. I'm glad that was, man, I'd have to go back to junior high to be that embarrassed in public, probably. The time I shit my pants on the choir trip. Timmy Miano, everybody. Timmy Miano. What a great song. I tell you what. And I feel that too. The compression of music and the way it draws out memories. That's the great thing about this Wild Bob's deal is people come out and everybody's got a point of view, right? And a lot of people have a lot of points of view, and you never know what kind of prism they're going to refract an idea through to write their song. And it's just like a beautiful drip of honey out of like every songwriter's mind that we all get a taste and love. And man, I love this event. I tell you what. Coming up next, good friend of mine, old friend. He made it just in time. I'll tell you what, fantastic wordsmith and just a gem of a human. Bob Briggs, no, Earl Holmer, everybody. Earl, let's have a hand for him.
Hi, how you been? Oh man, it's good to be back here. So I have two daughters, and Heidi lives in Indianapolis, and lo and behold, there's a Kurt Vonnegut museum, nice one in Indianapolis. So it's been a few years, but we spent a couple hours there once, photographs and snippets and writing and stuff. And my other daughter, Katie, well, we just drove to northern Wisconsin to see Heidi perform after a fiddle camp she took, you know, and we visited other relatives in Northern Iowa and stuff. But anyway, I picked Breakfast of Champions, and so you know, he was quite the guy back then, I guess the 60s and 70s, I don't know. Anyway, I remember reading several stories and books, and the movie, you know, Slaughterhouse 5, and I can remember that. So somebody with German will correct me, please, but I remember the German guards would go, Slaughterhouse 5, or something like that. You know, so anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to channel Kurt tonight, hopefully. I'm about to lose my eyesight. I need some surgery or something. Anyway, I'm going to see what I can do here. Oh yeah, the red light is weird. I can probably remember it anyway. So. Now you call me back, 17 years on the other side. Now you want an interview? I didn't even make the Norton Anthology. So, what's with all the cicadas? 17 years. And what's with all the ATMs? Thank you, our friends. Any Gabushio fans? Yeah, I ripped that off from him. I hear that on the radio and I keep sticking in my brain. Yeah. What's with all the ATMs? Sure, I talked the future, poked fun at you and me. Every polluting job committing suicide. Goodbye, Blue Monday. We were all pretty sure that machines would start to think and Big Brother would be watching, but watching with lights and cameras and hordes of minions. I will hereby confess, I for one did not have the imagination to be able to foresee the paradigm shifts of generative artificial intelligence in unholy matrimony with facial recognition software, and even, wait for it, gait recognition software. And I don't mean the gates out on the farm and ranch. Honest to Kilgore Trout, your stride recognition software as a fingerprint. No secrets anymore. Beware the Ice 9.
I'm trying to figure out what
You know, it'll crystallize all the water on the planet, right? Yeah. But be that as it may, I was absolutely correct, I am proud to say. I was absolutely right about this one thing. It was, it's still, and it's just bad chemicals. Yeah, raise your chemicals. DDT and PCP, HGH and STP, PVC and MTV, bad chemicals. PFAS and Roundup, yeah, thank you. Atrazine and dimethic, whatever it is. Well, dicamphene, something like that, yeah. But bad in your head, bad in your heart, bad in your joints, bad in your junk, bad for Mother Earth, bad for you and me. 300 chemicals can be detected in the shell you leave behind. It's just bad chemicals. I rest my case. Rest in peace, Dwayne Hoover. Gilgongo.
Let's have another hand for Earl, everybody. We have come to the midpoint, the proverbial break time, as it were, from the music, but it's not a break time from the show. We have Josh here from Bookmarks. You're not Josh from Bookmarks. I'm sorry, what is your name? We're doing trivia. You're Phil Bridges. I'm so sorry, Phil. The last time I was here, or one time I was here, Josh hosted trivia. So I made 2 errors tonight, which is still below my average per night. All right, so we're going to have a trivia break. If you would like to participate, if you know a lot about Kurt Vonnegut, if you don't, it'll be really funny. So come on up and answer questions. Thank you. Okay, so Collins and 80, and we need one more. Can I have a volunteer?
Timmy.
Timmy? Okay.
Tommy. Hey, Tommy.
Yeah. Addie. Not Addie. But I'm making mistakes for Steve now. Yeah! So like Steve said, I'm Jordan Gloyd. So, good to meet you. And we have some trivia. So, like all good trivia, this one doesn't have a prize. So you're, earning some bragging rights.
Exactly.
Okay, so the way this is gonna work, I will ask a super difficult, obscure question that will make you cry, and then you will answer it. If you mess up, the next person gets to try to answer it. If that person messes up, most of these only have 3 possible answers, so the next person should get it right or they'll be embarrassed. And I spilled beer on myself. Party. And beer on the trivia. Sweet. Okay. Beer on the trivia. Okay. So, first question. Complete the quote from Slaughterhouse 5 that helped name Wild Bob's Musical Book Club. And I quote, "If you're ever in blank, ask for Wild Bob." First one is Collins. Ithaca? Who cares about Ithaca? No. Next.
I should know because somebody just said this earlier, but I don't. So I'm gonna say Tecumseh.
Getting closer, but nope.
Saskatchewan.
Not at all. It is way more boring. If you're ever in Cody, Wyoming, just ask for Wild Bob. I feel so much better because last time when I did this, everyone got everything right like that. So, take that, suckers. Okay, number 2. Kurt Vonnegut became a prisoner of war in Dresden after he was captured in which famous World War II battle? Is it A, Battle of the Bulge, B, Battle of Dunkirk, C, Operation Dragoon?
Dunkirk.
You're wrong.
Was it Operation Dragoon?
No.
Battle of the Bull?
Okay. Process of elimination, folks. All right, Timmy, or Tommy, or Miranda Udally? Which popular magazine did Kurt Vonnegut write for? Was it A, Popular Science, B, Sports Illustrated, or C, Time?
I only know the Playboy one. So...
Interesting, how do you only know the Playboy ones?
Grandpa's a good educator.
A, Popular Science, B, Sports Illustrated, C, Time. No, thank you.
I'll take Sports Illustrated.
It's correct, and you should Google the story of how he quit. It's pretty funny. Okay, Collins has 2 points. All right. In which Rodney Dangerfield movie did Vonnegut appear as himself? Is it A, Easy Money, B, Caddyshack, or C, Back to School?
The first one, Easy Money.
No.
Back to School.
You are correct. Okay. Which Vonnegut novel introduced Ice 9, which kept soldiers from walking through the mud, but unfortunately also brought about the end of the world? Trade-offs. Is it A, Cat's Cradle, B, Breakfast of Champions, or C, Welcome to the Monkey House?
Fused together. I'm gonna say Monkey House.
You should not have said that. That's correct. So we currently have 2 points, 1 point, 1 point. All right. This one starts with Timmy. Though the rumors that they were fraternity brothers have been disproven, in the building that housed Vonnegut's college fraternity, there were multiple drawings left on the walls by A. Shel Silverstein, B. Maurice Sendak, or C. Ted Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss. No.
Sendak.
No.
Dr. Seuss.
Exactly, Dr. Seuss, same fraternity as Vonnegut. Go crazy. We currently have a 2-2 tie, so we'll go into the bonus round. Okay, the bonus round is about Wild Bob's Musical Book Club and not about Vonnegut. So, good luck, folks. All right, which sexy or at least sexy sounding book has not been read and performed by Wild Bob's Musical Book Club? Is it A, Winter's Bone, B, 50 Shades of Grey, C, After Dark by Haruki Murakami, or D, Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence? I don't even know. After Dark? I wrote 2 songs for that.
Lady Chatterley for the win.
For the win. Good. Okay. Tiebreaker just because I have another question. You're not winning anything anyway. Who cares? Only dignity. Okay. And you're Josh Arnett anyway, so. Which author has not been featured in 2 Wild Bob's Musical Book Club shows? Is it Truman Capote, Harper Lee, or William Shakespeare?
Was it Bill Shakespeare?
You may remember such evenings as Romeo and Juliet or Midsummer Night's Dream.
Harper Lee.
You may remember To Kill a Mockingbird or Go Set a Watchman. So do you remember the thing that I said?
I don't remember the options.
Cool. It's Truman Capote. And by forfeit, I guess, Addie is our victor. So, our last question is for everyone. Not for you guys. You guys can, celebrate your victories. So, which book was selected for the Wild Bob show that was canceled due to the pandemic in 2020? Was it A, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel? B, Thanks? That one would have been perfect. It's about a stinking pandemic. Everybody dies. Timely. B, Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. Okay, fine. That way I don't have to say Quichotte or whatever by Salman Rushdie. So, it was Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris because he was coming to town and that got canceled 15 times and he eventually came. So that will be the next book that we do. Spoiler alert. Thanks and sorry. My name is Jordan Boyd.
My name is Tommy Boyd.
And I would like to welcome to the stage my good friend T.I.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at my list really carefully for the rest of the night. Yeah, what a great fun trivia time. You know, it's funny. I was earlier in between some performers, I had intended to talk about the movie Back to School and how awesome and hilarious it was. And I'm glad I didn't because I would have spoiled the question. But if you've never seen it, it's really great. Kurt Vonnegut plays himself. Rodney Dangerfield plays a big and tall men's store mogul from Cleveland or somewhere, and his son goes to college, and his son's roommate is Robert Downey Jr., and Rodney Dangerfield decides to go back to college with him, And the guy that played Paulie in the Rocky movies is his bodyguard. And he buys like a whole floor on the dorm. Anyway, he hires Kurt Vonnegut to write his term paper about Kurt Vonnegut. And he gets a failing grade. Yeah, the professor's like, you clearly did not understand the work at all. And then Kurt Vonnegut's just like, yeah, it's really brilliant if you're into like fun. So, coming up to the stage is somebody I think we're all familiar with, a good friend of ours, one of the committee that keeps this awesome train rolling. Let's have a big, big hand and welcome Murray Hutcherson up here, everybody. Come on, Murray.
Give me a second. So the thing that you plugged in the guitar to.
Hanging on the stand. Hanging on the stand. It's on your
That's it.
It's on your microphone.
It's camouflage.
Okay.
It's black.
You just take a little bit. No,
Plugged all the way in. Okay, sit down. We're going to try some more, okay? That's good. All right, so, hey. So I'm going to ask for a vote. Should Steve host another show sometime? So, should it be Emily or Steve? Left hand or... okay, I mean, should Emily host another show? I will see. You know, I didn't ask them if it was okay to ask them. But at least now they know how you feel. So yeah, I wasn't into this much. This Kurt Vonnegut, I was just having all kinds of trouble. I think part of the problem is, you know, some of the people that read these audiobooks, the one, I was like leaning towards Slaughterhouse 5, but I was just feeling like icky after that. And, yeah, and then, I don't know, I mean, I was having trouble, so I just gave up. And it all came together. And what's funny, so I think the last one I read, the second to last one was Sirens of Titan. And I kind of liked that one, actually. And what was funny here, I'm writing this, and I noticed that the melody goes like up, 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 and then down, 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 down. Like, get it? Yeah. And then there's some other words in here, which are very siren-like. This one is spelled O, 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 O. And the next one is O, O, O. Alright, shut up. So this is called Dresden Farewell. But it has nothing to do with really, so it's kind of mixing, I mix different books together in here, so I like that one because Dresden Farewell
because when you listen to him read Cat's Cradle, there's songs in there, and the one towards the beginning about the sleeping drunkard and the British Queen all fit together in the same machine, and he sang that to the melody of Jamaica Farewell. So that's that. That's why I did it that way. But never mind. I know not what great wisdom I could write, substantively worth my breath to say. Grand abstractions flee me day and night. Nothing danceable dances my way. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Shadow impulse, quietly at work, the animating force by which I'm bound. Trafalmador reels its cosmic jerk in 8 short inches long and 3 round. Bingo! I can't but love the way the sirens move. The photograph reveals no sausage dog. He secretly divines the perfect book. Who saves his best to bless the epilogue. Down to bones and glue, trade sanity for wisdom I would do. There you go. I forgot to mention that that's a sonnet. And I've never written a sonnet, and I checked out who has put sonnets to music. And a couple people have, and it's super slow. Because it's only 14 lines, you gotta stretch it out. So back to the applause, I missed half of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Murray just sings like an angel, doesn't he? What a voice. Murray's another person I've met through the gift of Wild Bob's, and I love when he gets up to sing, because he's always so very kind of thoughtful, and he really like puts a lot of effort and sort of some deep digging into what he wants to write about. And I think, well done, Murray. All right. Up next, we have one of my favorite people, Mr. Jack Bowden's coming up. I'll tell you what. People often compare me to Jack as a musician. They tell me, Steve, you're no Jack Bowden. And I'll tell you what, they're right. Jack's fantastic. Former music teacher, all around fantastic human being. Plays the banjo and the guitar, and I think the kazoo a little bit, and maybe some harmonica, some other stuff. Writes fantastic songs about corn and a myriad of other topics. It just has an infectious laugh, I'll tell you what. Let's have a big, warm Wild Bob's welcome for Mr. Jack Bowden, everybody.
Well, I was going to stand, but this stool already got me.
It is a pretty good show. That's right.
Did anyone else notice at the end of Murray's song, the little bell? Ding! It was so cool. It's like right after the very last note. Ding!
No, it was just the glass, I think.
Yeah, at the bar, it was like a order up or something like that. It was so cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be on the video, Murray.
It will. You'll have to cut it out.
Yeah, I'll have to cut it out. That'd be great.
So, I love Wild Bob's Musical Book Club. I'm so glad it's back. I'm also pretty glad that it's not every month. Because I was just finishing this song in the parking lot. But but that's the thing about a song, is that you think you have it finished, and then it's like, but it'd be better if it's the other way. But anyway, so I read Cat's Cradle, but I was so busy doing other stuff that I read it over this period of about a month, and I really liked it. I was just really spurty, very little spurts of reading. I was like, I need to write a song about this, but it's like I don't have any continuity of it. So I got up really early, like 3 in the morning, and I just read the whole book, and it made more sense then. Of course, I had to take a nap. Oh, the dreams. But anyway, so Ice 9, yeah, can freeze the world. So the Cat's Cradle, I was never good at this with the string and where you make a cat's cradle. But one thing in the book is that one of the sons of the man who helped develop the bomb, he was really upset that his dad's saying, see the cat's cradle? And he's like, no, I just see a bunch of string. It's like, there's no cat, there's no cradle. Yeah. So anyway, there's a whole bunch in this book. So he's a writer on the island, and this island is just a desolate place, and there's like a dozen or maybe 2 dozen people that live really well, and then thousands of people who live in abject poverty. And there's these big palaces and castles on the hill, and they end up just tumbling to the sea, and it's like all the established ways to act and what to believe in, it's all crumbling. And if you hang on to it, you're going to fall with it. Anyway, I'll do the song. Busy, busy, busy. Everybody's so busy. Mired in the mud, but your mind is in a tizzy. Everybody's in the room, the cards are on the table. No cat, no cradle. I tell you all the truth and it's bound to change your lives, but you really shouldn't listen, cause it's all a pack of lies. Put your heads together, you can build a bigger bond, but the soles of your feet is where God's love comes from. Put your souls together, cause that's where love comes from. Busy, busy, busy. Everybody's so busy. Mired in the mud, but your mind is in a tizzy. Everybody's in the room, the cards are on the table. No cat, no cradle. Give me all your love and don't give none to no one else. I'll put it in a bottle and I'll keep it on the shelf. Open up the bottle and pass it all around before your love turns to vinegar all puddled on the ground. Love turns to vinegar all puddled on the ground. Busy, busy, busy. Everybody's so busy, mired in the mud, but your mind is in a tizzy. Everybody's in the room, the cards are on the table. No cat, no cradle. Your castle's gonna crumble and careen into the sea. I'll lead you to salvation, but you can't trust me. When the world is cold and everybody turns to ice, only love can warm a heart. Fool, don't take my advice. Only love can warm a heart. Don't take my advice. Busy, busy, busy. Everybody's so busy. Mired in the mud, but your mind is in a tizzy. Yeah, all the great philosophy and scripture on the table. No cat, no cradle. Busy, busy, busy. Everybody's so busy. Mired in the mud, but your mind is in the tizzy. All the great philosophy and scripture on the table. No cat, no cradle. String cheese, string theory, high strung, string bikini, strung out, strung up, stringing me along. Tie the knot, pull the string, string of pearls, apron string. And here's the thing, string bean, listen to this song. Thank you. Unless you're gonna dance, then you can. All right. Thank y'all so much. And thank you, Steve, and thank you all y'all keeping this going. This is an amazing thing. Yeah. And I agree with Brett about the deadlines and all y'all. It's like, okay, I will write a song. It might stink, but I will do it. But no songs have stunk tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Let's have a big hand for Jack Bowden, everybody. It's so great. I like your Brandon Moore impression. He is. He's Brandon. If you're into feet, Brandon's your fella. I think he's on that same website that Peggy Hill was on. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Just a little aside, I don't know if you guys know, there's a, I don't know if it's a reboot, but they're bringing King of the Hill back. Yeah, Bobby's grown up and Peggy and Hank are the grandparents now and he's got a family. I don't know, they've got the first season like in the can and they're looking for a distributor. Fingers crossed, it's awesome. But I digress. So, welcome back from the King of the Hill podcast that I just did there. One great thing about Wild Bob's
is that I get to come here and see a bunch of great friends. I get to see, Brett and Jack and Murray and everybody and Ronaldo Miano over here. But then the other great thing is you get to come here and you get to and experience new people that you don't know, and that's this next artist that's coming up. Tyler Nelson is going to play us a song. I don't know Tyler. I don't know that I've ever seen Tyler sing. I'm really excited about it. Tommy Tyler. Johnny Tyler. That's Johnny Tyler. Johnny Tyler Nelson, everybody. Let's have a big hand for him coming to the stage.
Well, it's nice to be here with you all at Wild Box. I've enjoyed listening to everyone talking about their songwriting process in relation to the books, and I just wanted to share that a lot of times that's kind of, it's by feel in a way. You read and then you kind of absorb that and then write what you write. And this time I decided I was going to be very detailed. I decided I was going to read. I read player piano, and I thought, I really enjoyed it. And I was like, I enjoyed it so much that I had this copy of it that I think I got from Friends of the Library sale. So it was like an older, it was like a hardcover. I wasn't sure if it was like valuable or something, more than one way. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to mark it up. I'm going to get a sticky note. I don't know if I want to write down all these quotes and things that I'm just ideas and things in the paragraphs themselves. And so I said, well, I'm just going to write page numbers down. I know. And I'll come back later and find the places. And so I had the sticky note. Suddenly I was filling out like page after page. I was writing down. I thought, well, I'm going to need another sticky note. And I started filling these up, and then I got kind of overwhelmed by that. It's like, I don't think this is. So I just had to kind of finish the novel, and then it's this story of how society has kind of progressed to a point that it has this mania for automation and replacement of human work with machines that do it better and more efficiently and so on. And some of it is so like apropos of our time that it was almost hard to read at points because I'm thinking AI and these other things, of course, but this idea that it becomes managers and engineers at the top and everyone else has very little work to do, or at least very little that's meaningful in ways that they can kind of continue to do and have a high quality of life, at least existentially. I mean, they're provided for. They have food, they have shelter, they have the basic needs, but they don't have like the dignity of work and a use kind of beyond just existing. So I just kind of thought about that and I was like, well, I'm going to write kind of from the perspective of someone who had experienced that and was like reflecting back on it. So this song is called Turn the TV On.
Over the road, moving free. I used to sing, it wasn't great, but still it helped with all the worry and the weight. I used to draw, I used to paint, time flew by in minutes, hours in a blink. I used to fix the kitchen sink, now there's a robot does it, I don't have to think. I just turn TV on. I just turn the TV on. I used to sleep, I used to dream, I used to think about the things I'd never seen. I used to run, I used to play, I used to find a way to fill up every day. Now I turn the TV on. I just turn the TV on. I used to read, I used to write all kinds of silly things that maybe you would like. I used to dig, I used to build all kinds of little things that really got you thrilled. Now I just turn the TV on. I just turn the TV on. I used to work out of state. I used to sing, it wasn't great. Now I turn the TV on. I just turn the TV on.
Hello. Oh, there it is. All right, let's have another big hand for Tyler Nelson, everybody. Johnny Tyler. That's had a little local Springfield history lesson. Local expert Dallas Jones wrote a song called Johnny Tyler. It is apparently about Tyler. That's fantastic. I mean, having a song written about you by Dallas Jones is pretty much the highest Ozarks honor I think a person could achieve, frankly. Even though he has terrible, terrible taste in movies, Dallas is still a very stand-up guy. I just love him with all my heart. And he's just awful about movies, though. Like, right? Let's everybody say, Dallas is bad with movies. Go! Oh man, I can't wait till he hears about this.
Gotta put that into the video somewhere.
I won't bore you with the details. We have an ongoing Facebook beef. Coming up next to the stage, we have a group called the Rising Odds, everybody. I believe they've got some equipment to set up. One equipment, a keyboard, which is awesome. One thing about being a singer-songwriter is like everybody plays guitar, right? Like I tried to start a band with some friends of mine, like all 5 of us play guitar. And it's like, well, somebody's gotta play bass, like, right, you know? And not to mention a drummer. So it's nice to see a keyboard here tonight at the Wild Bob's Musical Club. So I know it's been a minute since we've had some ado, but without any furtherance of that said aforementioned ado, I'm going to turn it over to the Rising Odds and let them tell you what the song's all about.
Time is relative, but you know it is not your friend in the end. the party's lights. See my son, fear in his eyes, and then I fall back in the snow. It's not goodbye, it's just so it goes. And underground I cannot see. All I can do is hear them scream. Now all for one and two for tea, but all we drink is irony. When the morning comes and we're free, time has gone and left me. Damn the horse and take my seat, but all I hear is put-you-eat. They say that blood is thicker than water, but they both will get you wet. They say that time is relative, but you know it is not your friend. In the end, in the end. Wish I could say that I was a hero. The truth is I'm just a waste. Set out to save all our sons and daughters, but all we did was fill more graves. Now I won't run from what's behind the door. I know what awaits. Time comes for all, and I am no different. I'm just a pilgrim in space.
Thank you.
It only hurt a little bit in one ankle and both knees, if anybody's curious. It's hell getting old, but it's also a privilege. I talked about meeting new folks, so these next guys that are coming up to perform, I'm pretty sure that I actually met at the old Moon City Jam that we used to have down there at White River, not White River, the other direction, at Big Mama's down the street. And hanging out for a while. A fantastic father-son duo. We got coming to the stage here. Let's have a big hand, make them welcome the Blue Milos, everybody.
Yeah, we did kind of a short story by Kurt Vonnegut called Miss Temptation. Anyway, so
yeah, Miss Temptation. It's about a young woman that moves to a small town, an inspiring actress, and she's very attractive, and because of that, none of the men weren't really going to talk to her. They're afraid of her. It's kind of from her point of view.
Honey, won't you come along? It's raining in the meadow just before dawn. Honey, won't you come along? Honey, won't you spend some time with me? Baby, won't you spend some time? Last time wasn't long enough. Baby, won't you spend some time? Take a ride. We've got the summer until it ends. Honey, won't you take a ride? One day's over, another begins. Maybe we can start all over again. A brand new day is on the rise. Dry your tears, wipe your eyes. Honey, won't you spend some time with me? Honey, won't you stay? We've got summer until winter comes. Honey, we can come along. Honey, we can take a ride. Honey, won't you spend some time with me? Honey, won't you spend some time? Honey, won't you take a ride with me? Honey, won't you come along? Honey, won't you come along? Thank you.
Hello, lovers. We're closing in on the end of the night. We got a couple of performances left. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thanks to all of you for being here tonight, audience and performers both. Wild Bob's been around 10 years. It's been one of my very favorite things I've ever had the privilege to do in Springfield, and I've done a lot of fun shit here, so I'll tell you what. I think Murray would like to say some words, so I'm going to turn this over to him.
A couple things. So did we like Steve? So yeah, so as far as we always give you guys your money before you leave, but this time we're going to have to figure out a different way to do it. So I'm going to email all the performers, and you tell me if you have Zelle or Venmo or neither one, and we'll figure it out if you don't have either.
They must have one.
I don't, do I?
All right, for those who didn't hear that, Murray would like to give everyone here money. And so all of you, every single person here tonight, hit Murray up, slide into his DMs with your Zelle, hit him up with your PayPal info, give him your Venmo, you know.
We're talking to the wife.
Hit him up with the deets. Or the tails. A lot of people say the deets, I like to say the tails. That's just one example of the innovation I bring to this game. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to stage now the artist formerly known as Joshua Arnett, and Jordan Gloyd, and Miranda Udaley, the one and only Phil Bridges, everybody. Let's have a hand for him. You might remember him from tonight's trivia.
Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm Jordan Gloyd. Jordan is lovely, and yeah, I wasn't here at the beginning, but I did a good, I don't know, 7 years or something of Wild Bobs. And for me, it was always really, really valuable because, I mean, in college I was an English major, and so now I'm obviously rich, and, you know, don't have time to read books. And I was in bands and that sort of thing, and, you know, with like jobs and kids and all that, it's hard to keep up with those things. And so, yeah, the deadlines are super valuable, the community is super valuable, and this is just one of my favorite things about this city, which has some nice things over the last bit. One thing I want to do is I want to start like Wild Bob's music review or something, where we have, you know, maybe 2 or 3 people in a night, and we all can play multiple songs, because it's tragic if, you know, some of these things are just so ephemeral and pop in and then disappear forever. So that's my thought. But this is a song, you know, I'm basic now, at least according to my daughter. And so, obviously, I chose Slaughterhouse-5. Yeah, and obviously I sort of gravitated to the whole So It Goes concept in it. So this song has some, like, time jumping. Starts with me panicking and trying to write a song. Then it jumps back in time a bit, and of course it's me, so it, you know, talks about death. And then jumps into trying to like tie a big English majory philosophical bow on it. So that's this song. So it goes.
Sitting down to write another song, give myself so little time, and no rehearsal, been too quiet last few years, I should sing a little more, so it goes. Your skin got paper thin from the crows, the walls kept closing in. From home to home, with you almost 40 years, what I'd give for a few more. So it goes, so it goes. Trouble breathing before Thanksgiving, didn't realize you'd be gone. Soon after Christmas,
With you over 40 years, what I'd give for a few more. So it goes, so it goes, so it goes, so it goes. And how much of the past is ours to keep? How much of my life is lost to sleep? Been here over 40 years. Guess I'll stay for a few more. So it goes, so it goes, so it goes, so it goes, so it goes. There is no beginning, no middle and no end, no moral, no suspense, no cause and no effect. There is no beginning, no middle and no end, no moral, no suspense, no cause and no effect. There is no beginning, no middle and no end, no moral, no suspense, no cause and no effect. We marveled at the depths, despair at every death, but memory won't relent. So it goes. So it goes, so it goes, so it goes, so it goes.
Jordan, you daily, everybody. Hey, seriously, thank you all so much for being here. You know, the thing about being a musician, my friend Bo Brown told me, he said, it's the show that costs, the music's free, you know. We do this at home. Like, I'd be sitting at home playing my guitar and singing in my living room if I didn't have people who wanted to see me sing, and all these other guys are the same way, and ladies, and so thank you all for coming out to support cool shit like this. And speaking of supporting cool shit, let's have a big hand for Lindbergh's. I fucking love this bar. Not only is the food superb and the staff is just the best in town, but they are always down to do the cool shit. So tell all your friends if they want to go somewhere fun to come here. Tip your lovely wait staff. They've been taking care of us all night, so let's take good care of them. We have one more performer tonight. The brave Leesa Johnson is gonna come up. I don't know, brave. I'm just picking that adjective. So Leesa wrote a song, but she has a hand injury and can't play the guitar. So she's going to come up and read it spoken word style, like William Shatner. Or he's the first spoken word artist I can think of. I don't know a lot of poets except for Kate Murr. Kate Murr style. Let's go there. Let's have a big hand for Leesa, everybody, and for all of our performers on all of Wild Bobs. Thank you all for being here.
I wasn't gonna do this. I said, Murray, I tried to break my hand last week, so I sort of lost my mojo, and the half-finished song didn't get finished, but then everybody was like, you know, it doesn't matter. As long as you have something, just try to put it out there. And so I just really appreciated the energy of tonight of it's not a lack of perfection. There's like so many lyrics about like put perfection aside so that you can have creativity, right? And so I thought maybe I would try to share with you my experience of being here with you all tonight, and hopefully it'll come out as a song next time. I'm just so honored. This is my first time even being here. I didn't even know about this. So thank you, Murray, for inviting me some weeks ago at Queen City Shout, and I just really hope to be here in a more musical version next time. But for now, Vonnegut Tonight. Inspiration abounding, mystery for sure. I read your book in my 20s, and it scared me to this day, if I'm honest. Your book. That's misleading. Of course, your work abounds. There's more books than I really know of, and it shows just now. Straddling restraint and curiosity, I am tipping towards the latter, overcoming my discomfort and the distraction of the chatter. Shaping generations with the words you wrote, you're sounding pretty friendly. That scene burned inside my mind in contrast to something emerging or pretty. Kurt, that's how you wrote, or at least that's how I remember. It seemed you brought words to life, descriptions that chilled my bones. Kurt, is that the way you lived? You sound more like a wanderer. Perhaps you lived with lust. I'm learning a lot tonight. Time bender, reality shaper, what titles you must hold. Vonnegut, like a sucker punch straight to the gut. It fills my mind with imagery alone. Before tonight, what I had written revolved around your name. It's poetry in and of itself, enough to write a song about. But now I hear there's more to learn, more to read between the pages. Pieces of a soul stretched thin, your heart in tatters after a war, your mind a curious expose of life lived up and down. Kurt, if only they'd do this round twice, I'd have a chance to do my best. It took a night of intrigue, but now I've got a list. And so it goes. I'm on a journey of discovery, of books that pique my interest.
Hot damn! Hey, everybody, give yourselves a hand. Wild Bombs, 10 years, isn't it?